You're crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Ask Nick edition. I'm Nick, joined by the household of Allie, Amanda, and Derek. Hope. I was about to say hope is great, I guess.
Okay,
Hope
Obama in 2008.
I hope you're all having a great day. I know I am. What's anything going on with y'all? Anything? Derek had an anniversary.
Yeah, I feel like coming off the weekend, Derek, I know you had a big one. Tell us about your anniversary.
So anniversaries, I feel like are always like a fun topic because I feel like people do them a lot of different ways and they kind of change year to year. So for our anniversary, we tried to do new experiences. So I took my girlfriend.
You have themes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like a prompt overall,
Yeah.
new experience, and then each time a specific one.
Yeah, I mean, this year we just wanted to switch it up. We stayed local. So Sydney's never done a surfing lesson before, so we did surfing lessons. And I never had a mani-pedi before, so I got my first mani-pedi, and I can't stop looking at my buff nails.
Who liked their new experience better? Their new first experience? Did you like the mani-pedi, or did she like the surfing better?
We both like them a lot.
Okay.
I might start regularly getting mani-pedis.
Did you sign up for a package deal?
I might start researching on Yelp. It was kind of life-changing, not gonna lie.
So, and a mani-pedi is both a manicure and a pedicure, yeah?
As the name might imply, indeed it is.
I honestly wasn't sure. I just figured that out on the spot.
Have you personally gotten a manicure, pedicure?
I've gotten a pedicure multiple times. I don't think I've ever gotten a manicure because obviously
How could you do any
I
better?
don't need one. No one can do better than my teeth. So anyway, back to your anniversary.
No, she had a good time. She stood up her first wave, which was really impressive.
Okay, Sid.
Yeah.
Natalie also, I don't know, you've used to surf, but when Natalie
Yeah.
and I surfed for the first time, it was both our first time in Hawaii. She stood up faster than I did.
I mean, surfing's hard. Surfing's really hard. And it was really fun. And it's just nice to, I don't know, I haven't surfed in a while. So it's nice to do something different. So it was nice.
All right.
New experiences.
And this was your what anniversary?
4 years.
How do you guys come up with a date? Because honestly, Natalie and I don't have a date.
It was our first date. Not
first date.
not when we first started talking or anything like that. It's like our first date is considered like the start.
Because nowadays, I feel like anniversaries are harder to pinpoint because
Yeah.
you have all these situationships and we're just seeing each other. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Fuck, your situation, God only knows. How could you? Are you still even hanging out with the guy?
I haven't.
Did he die?
No, he didn't die.
He's dead. He's dead to me.
No, he's been sick, and he was at Coachella, and then he was sick.
So hopefully he's dying.
No, I just haven't seen him in a few weeks.
But yeah, so anyway, hard to pinpoint. Natalie and I, we were just fucking around for a few months.
Yeah.
A few.
9.
You could have had a child.
Yeah.
Literally. So yeah, we kind of celebrate it around the time period, but there's no exact date.
So it's just like a general month-ish?
Yeah, so around that time we would go to New York, end of July, early August, and it would be all right, we're celebrating, I guess, our anniversary. But there's not a date. I know the date I first met her,
Okay.
but we don't celebrate that. I mean, we celebrate we always celebrate our love, but we don't have a hard anniversary. Certainly not where we're giving each other anniversary gifts.
That's a whole nother dimension.
And I suppose as a jaded man of love, yeah, I mean, to me, I don't really want to celebrate an anniversary unless it's a wedding anniversary.
Well, that's what I was going to say is you'll soon have a very
Well, that's the thing.
clearly
It's do you
defined date.
replace it? Do you keep celebrating? Because I know couples who are a year into marriage that still will make a post or something
these your
about their
friends?
first date, but then they also celebrate
But these
their
are your friends.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
also celebrate
And I'm
their wedding anniversary.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to sound like the condescending old guy, but eventually they'll stop celebrating their dating anniversary and they'll only, is my guess. I just feel like they're newly married-ish.
A year-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a year. I don't know. I think anniversaries, dating anniversaries, not that I'm sure your weekend was lovely, Derek, but
It was.
it's I don't know. I'm kind of I think they're nice to recognize, but I'm not it's not the same.
But don't you feel like it's an opportunity to spice things up, to do
Spice
something
things up.
romantic?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're someone who requires an anniversary to do something romantic, then I guess.
I do. I require that someone do something romantic
For you.
on an anniversary. I'm a sentimental
No, I guess
hoe.
what I'm saying is I don't require a special day
That's a good
to do
point.
something romantic.
I feel so mixed about that, like in terms of how I think, because like my grandfather he would always get my grandmother, like he wouldn't necessarily do anything for their anniversary, but he would come back from like a work trip with like a really gorgeous ring. And so he was very much like a random gifts whenever he felt like it. Like one day he just hired a mariachi band. And so I grew up with like thinking that was very, very romantic. And then now that I'm more of like a control freak who has like a lower ambiguity tolerance, I'm like, I need a guaranteed moment of like acknowledging and celebrating this relationship no matter what, no matter how busy we get, no matter how much work there is. Because my birthday's around Valentine's Day. So that day's not like a surefire, you know? So I feel like sometimes you need some consistency.
When's your birthday?
February 3rd.
Like 2 weeks before.
You'd be surprised. You'd
How
be surprised.
so?
People phone it the fuck in.
You
Nick.
have Valentine's PTSD because of
No, I think no.
your
To be fair,
birthday?
it's like only since like being a dater, I would say, and it's only Valentine's Day where
Oh,
it's
you're
like
saying it. Oh, and as an adult in romantic relationships, like
we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day that much because I
boyfriends
think
were just too fatigued because of your birthday.
yeah,
There can
they
only
were
be
still
one.
recovering.
They're just like, oh my god, not
Oh.
another date. I have to celebrate you.
My dick.
Yeah, that's well, my boyfriend was saying
What'd you say about Dick?
I just assumed they'd be tired from birthday sex.
I mean less of like a sex thing.
No, I figured it'd be more like he gets you a gift for your birthday, and on Valentine's Day, he's like, well, I mean, I could offer you my dick,
Oh.
you know, but that's all I got. What's the most expensive gift you've ever received from a man?
my current boyfriend waited a little bit to book tickets for me to visit him on his last like movie set.
Okay.
And so they were kind of expensive because he booked last minute. And it became a real thing where like he'd said he would do it.
I thought
I
you
didn't
were
want
going
to
to say it
pester.
was the ex who bought
vibrator?
you a felony trainer.
That she almost gave back. Or Venmo'd back.
Speaking of people I did not marry. So we got a question emailed in from a listener who basically is posing the question, is it selfish to boycott a wedding? And so what this person wrote in was, long story short, the groom called off my friend's wedding, said he didn't love her anymore. They told their families. She sat with her friends, including me, for days, crying and grieving it. Days later, they had a talk how to sort through everything wedding-wise and ended up banging. They decided to call it back on because he agreed to go to therapy with her. Now, I don't want to go to the bachelor.
To like, therapy doesn't make you fall in love.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I'm just taking him at his word.
it will be interesting because so what this friend is saying, she's like, the bachelorette is in 2 weeks. I told
Bachelor
her,
party.
yeah, and she was like, she basically doesn't want anything to do with this wedding anymore.
Interesting.
And so I thought it was
And
really
this is in the hopes that her friend will wake up and.
That's a good question of like, what is the intention behind it? I think she's probably coming at it from like a boycott based on principle, where it's more like, it's not that she thinks she's going to change her friend, but she is like,
Well,
I'm not going to be there for it.
Then that's dumb. If your goal is to just make some sort of like political statement or something, like, you know, like it's not about you. It's not your day. It's literally not about you. Now, if you think that doing this will somehow, if you think your friend is making a terrible decision, and she might be. I mean, like the guy went from saying I'm not in love with you to, I guess, agreeing to go to therapy, and you know, having sex, fuck, that doesn't mean anything. So I think she has real valid concerns for her friend deciding to move forward, because again, it can be very scary to plan a wedding and tell all your friends, and it can feel very embarrassing to call off the wedding, yada, yada, yada. So I could see why her friend is kind of ignoring the potential red flags, and her friend is trying to get her to wake up, so to speak. But if she deep down doesn't think that anything she says or does is going to change her friend's decision, then you show the fuck up and you be there for your friend and you be a friend. And if you end up being right, that's how you be a friend. You're there to support. You don't have to agree with it. It's not your decision. You're not marrying this person. So if you're not here to make a point or take some sort of stand. It's the principle of it all. The principle of what? Like,
But then how would you feel? Because you're always the one saying friends don't just like agree with everything. They hold them accountable.
Hold them
They
accountable. Have a conversation with their friend. Not showing up. If her friend says, hey, listen, like, this is the person I want to marry. I've thought it through. This is what I want to do. You're my friend. I want you there. You should be there. You not showing up isn't doing anything other than making your friend, potentially enjoy their day even less or affect their friendship. And this friend might need you in the future when this marriage goes south and you're abandoning your friend on their special day. Like, holding a friend accountable doesn't mean alienating them. Like, there might be situations in friendships where you have to take a step back, especially if what they're asking is causing you to have to compromise your values and put you in vulnerable situations, but it's not your wedding. And again, if somehow the friend thought, if I take a stand, she'll wake up and not marry this guy, then you can have an argument. But, just making some sort of point so that everyone's like, where's Becky? Oh yeah, she fucking hates Chuck or whatever, like, it's not.
Let's say she does do it from a place of like taking a stand and being like, hey, like, this is very much directed at being like, I love you so much. I can't watch you do this. She's doing it from a place that hoping her friend realizes just how extreme the situation is and how much in objection she is to the wedding.
Yeah.
Then in that
know.
case,
Maybe. I just think at the end of the day, it's not her wedding. People can get cold feet. Maybe this guy had a mental health crisis. We don't have a lot of detail, but I recognize her concern, don't get me wrong. But if her friend wants to move forward with this, and if this is the person she wants to marry, and if she is willing to do the work with this guy that she wants to marry, then she should have her friends supporting that decision, and they should be there and be friends. And you don't have to like it. You don't have to pretend it's the most amazing decision. But again, being a friend is being there is being there and supporting your friends, even if you don't always agree with their decisions. But holding them accountable is saying, hey, listen, holding accountable would sitting the friend down, because this is what a lot of people don't do, because people are afraid to have tough conversations and it's awkward and they don't want to make their friend mad and they don't want to get in a fight. So they don't say anything and they do these kind of things. But holding them accountable would sitting her down and saying, hey, I love you. I know you're scared. I know this is ideal, but are you sure this is really what you want to do? I'm really worried. Here's why. At the end of the day, I'm going to support you, but like, have you considered the possibility that maybe he's not right for you, after all this? And I just want you to know that, like, if you decide not to marry this guy, it's going to be okay. I'll be here for you, and just challenge her to consider alternatives and let her believe that whatever she decides, especially if she decides to not marry the guy, it's going to be okay. Because so many of these decisions are based off of fear. Oh, I'm going to be alone. I don't want to have to start over. What? Fuck it. I'll just marry the guy and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And so that would be holding your friend accountable. Just not showing up. You're making it about you, I just think.
That's fair. The other thing that kind of makes me feel like it might potentially be worth going is like, so let's say this friend goes through with the wedding. They either like stay together, in which case you missed your friend's wedding. Like, they might stay together. He might earn back your trust. And then there's this important day.
And then he's going to be like, fuck her.
Yeah. Oof. And it might fall apart. Like, this friend might be right that this marriage isn't going to last. But I think for just the chance that it may last, it might be worth like just showing up so that way you can kind of cover your bases, like important memories.
Yeah. I mean, it's for the principle and I'm taking a stand. So what? So you can say, I told you so when it goes south. Again, that's not being a friend. Did you guys hear about the girlfriend who broke up with her boyfriend who had a brain tumor because of her mental health challenges, and then she is running a marathon to raise like awareness or money for brain tumors or something? Mm-hmm. It's like, what a way to make a terrible situation all about you, like citing your mental health. I mean, listen, here's the thing. I think you have the right to like break up with anyone at any point, anytime you want. And if you're dating someone and they have a health crisis, like that's a legitimate, like it's a incredibly shitty situation for everyone. And depending on the diagnosis, like, and there's so many variables, right? You could be dating someone for a year and like maybe it's pretty good. And then you find out they have some terrible diagnosis and deep down you're just like, man, we were having all these problems. You're going to be the asshole either way. You have the right to leave if you want to leave, but you don't get to like rewrite the narrative. You still are going to be the person who left your partner when they needed you. And that's okay if you wanted to leave, because like you shouldn't be expected, out of guilt or shame to stay in a relationship, but you don't get to rewrite it. And then you don't get to, to make yourself feel better, run a marathon and get more. She like got news out of it.
Okay. So get this. The guy will be there cheering and supporting his girlfriend.
I don't care.
The article said.
Are they back
he
together?
said it's incredible, or his former girlfriend. He said it's incredible that she's running the race. Quote, when she said she was going to do a marathon, I must admit I had my doubts. I think she only did about 1.3 miles when we were together, and it was a lot of complaining. I've got so much respect for her discipline and perseverance, he added.
How about the discipline and perseverance to sit by his side while he was getting chemo?
I
do think mental health, it's tricky.
It's really nuanced because
again, she has the right to leave. She has the right to say, I can't do this. That's totally fine. You get to leave, but people still get to judge you. They do. They get to say.
But if the very person who's most equipped or most positioned to feel wronged or underserved by her isn't judging her, shouldn't everybody else get over it?
Fine. I mean, hey, we're only talking about it because she decided to run a fucking marathon and be like, I'm doing this for my ex-boyfriend who got a tumor and I want the credit. And like, this is about me, she could have just moved on, but instead this is all about her guilt about doing something. And I just think if you, I don't know, listen, I think, again, when we say trust our gut, right? And like our bodies tell us something. And I think when we feel, not always, because it can be like from religion or our parents, but sometimes when we feel guilt or shame, I think sometimes it's telling us, because maybe it's our body telling us, you could have done a little bit more. Maybe you're a little bit more capable of what you gave yourself credit for. And you didn't feel like doing it, and that's fine. Whatevs. But when you do that, when you feel that, you just maybe have to accept that next time it happens, maybe you should challenge yourself more. You don't try to go back and try to say, well, actually, I am a caring, loving person, and I just had my own way of being there for him. It's like an equivalent of like love languages. It's just like, well, this is how I love. And the other person's like, well, cool. I don't feel that because that's not how I receive love. They're like, well, that's how I love.
Too bad, so sad.
So too bad,
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. Sometimes we have to make tough choices, and sometimes those tough choices are going to come with judgment. They're going to come with people being like, and that's sometimes okay. But to double down and then make it about you.
Yeah, I think for you, it seems like the marathon is the damning piece of evidence. Less so about her leaving? Or both?
Yeah. It's not about her leaving.
Okay.
She has the right to leave. And I have the right to be like, I don't know if I want to marry that one. I mean, when you get married, till death do you part, sickness and in health. It's not like until you get like a really bad cold, That isn't that part of like getting married is like shit's going to go down and like you want someone by your side to like be there for you when shit goes down. And listen, there's a million variables, right? Like they literally could have like hated each other when he got the diagnosis.
Yeah.
They could have been talking about breaking up.
Found out they were second cousins or something.
And then she
We
didn't
don't
realize
know.
that like, this is not my person. That's totally fine. So fucking leave and move the fuck on with your life.
But what if it was such an amicable split that they're thinking, what an excellent opportunity to raise awareness? He's going.
Ultimately, the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend seems pretty like chuffed about it.
I feel like if I got a beer with him and I sat down, I'd be like, she fucking sucks, doesn't she? He would be like, yeah.
Oh my God.
In my opinion, I feel like there's such a that decision to leave is something that you can do, but there's sort of like, for lack of a better word, like the gravitas of the situation. That's a really hard decision that takes a lot to admit, like, I can't stay in this relationship. I'm not equipped properly to be in this relationship. And like, I'd rather not lie to you.
Yeah.
So it's weird to sort of like, even if it's amicable, to come back in some capacity is, even if it's for good intentions, even if it's amicable, it seems weird because the initial step to leave is one that is sort of haunting and hard to undertake. So to come back makes it seem like it's being taken less seriously, even if it's for a good cause. That's what's the irk for me.
Yeah. It's
Well, they're exes, so they could listen to the breakup song of the week.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is Ever Again by Arizona Zervas. The person who submitted this said, I recently finally exited a super toxic relationship with a man much older than me. I'm 27. He's 43. I tried to end the relationship twice prior, but this time it finally stuck because I blocked him and made changes to my life to ensure I would never see him again.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I stumbled across this song and it's a bop and the lyrics spoke to my soul. The whole song rocks, but specifically this part. So call me stupid or call me your friend, but don't ever call me again. Call me useless. I don't give a damn because you ain't never getting in my bed ever again, ever again. And let me say, this song is a bop. Reading the lyrics don't do it justice. It's very catchy. And so check out our breakup song of the week. It is on the Viall Files Instagram as a highlight. And
on Spotify.
And yes, the highlight is where you get the Spotify playlist.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, we have an amazing episode for you before we get into that. Also, we have an amazing, incredible week this week. Tomorrow, Freestyle Howie Mandel is joining us. Gonna be wild. Kind of public enemy number 2 after public enemy number 3, maybe?
I was going to say
4.
Yeah.
Tom Sandoval, Raquel Schwartz, Howie Mandel.
Mandel. All right. Whew.
In the Vanderpump Bravo world. I mean, I say that in jest, obviously. We're excited to have Howie. We'll talk to him about his interview with Tom Sandoval, the fallout of it all, his thoughts. I'm curious if he's brought himself up to speed on all things Scandoval or if he's kind of moved on. But either way, it's going to be a fun, entertaining episode with Howie. So put your seatbelts on. It's going to be an excellent, amazing week here at the Viall Files household. Also, don't forget Better Date Than Never live this week. What are we talking about? Is it butt stuff?
One of the first double entendres that I ever understood was when someone was like, if the Red River's flowing, take the dirt road home. People said in high school to refer to the fact if
your
someone is
girl's on his
menstruating,
period.
you should have anal. Speaking of which, some other potential topics are period
so you would
sex.
you would rather have some poo on your pee
on your wee wee
rather than a little blood?
High school boys, man.
High school boys are some of the least logical individuals.
I also feel like blood is a better lubricant than shit.
I think it's also
Just saying.
a huge health issue if there is, in fact, dookie
shit.
Sure.
Well, I guess I don't know.
Obviously, scrub the butt, but like...
Yeah.
Anyways, this is what an episode of Better Date Than Never sounds like. It's a wild time. We'll be talking anal sex. We're making this decision now.
Executive choice.
All right, this week on Better Date Than Never, butt stuff.
With Dr. Marissa Martin.
Dr. Marissa Martin will be joining us. Anyway, we have a great week. Don't forget, Viall Files Plus is available. If you haven't checked out that update from our caller, our lesbian friend who is dating a man who was proposed to. It is a wild update. She has more updates coming. It is available behind Viall Files Plus for all you people like, I want them Plus. It's free. It's literally free for a week. So sign up. If you don't love the amazing and incredible content that we are serving you on the fucking weekly, we have 2 update specials every month in Viall Files Plus. We have Pop Extra, also known as Pop Off. Plus, as soon as we hire another editor, we're going to be doing Vanderpump Rules recap from episode 1.
There's a classic update that released this past Friday, so get it while it's hot.
Oh yeah. So last Friday for all you people who don't, it is available to everyone. I'm feeling a little sassy.
We love you. Thank you for supporting this program, regardless of whether you pay to do it or not.
No, obviously I love you guys.
You know I love you.
Sometimes people need to hear it, you know?
Let's get to our caller.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name's Jamie.
How old are you, Jamie?
I'm 35.
How can we help?
My boyfriend wants me to stop going to CrossFit because he doesn't want a muscular girl.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't feel very good about it. Actually, I'm a single mom of 2 girls. I'm really busy. I don't have any time for myself. So, I've been dating my boyfriend for about 6 months, and I started going to CrossFit about 2 months ago, and I'm finding it just super good for me. It gives me more energy with my girls, and I'm really enjoying it actually. So I just noticed like he would start giving me a sarcastic tone or like do some offhand comments when he hears me talking about CrossFit, 'cause I'm excited to share it with him. And yeah, so yeah, I'm not feeling too great about it actually.
Okay. I mean, it's a tricky thing, in a sense that like you certainly have. That's awesome that you found something. People have different preferences and physical appearance and things like that. You started this after you guys met. I don't like the passive aggressiveness or the kind of offhand remarks that he's giving. I don't know if he's necessarily like the worst person in the world because like he has the right not to be attracted to a certain type, I suppose, but like you have the right to do what you want. But like, I guess my question to you is this relationship's only 6 months old. Like how happy you are overall with this relationship.
Yeah, I guess I've been really happy with the relationship. Just kind of lately, I'm noticing like these offhand remarks are just like, yeah, I'm just starting to maybe notice a few things that I haven't been super happy with, I guess.
Like how much like how much has your body changed in the 2 months that you've done CrossFit? Because like, I mean, I'm familiar with CrossFit. Like there are plenty of women who do CrossFit and they're not turning into necessarily bodybuilders.
Exactly. Yeah. I know I'm a busy mom, so I only really go 2 or 3 times a week. I would say I look like a little bit more fit, but nothing extreme at all.
Has he said what he likes?
So like he just kept making offhand remarks. So then I finally called him out on it. I'm like, what's your deal? I'm really enjoying this. I want to be able to talk to you about it, kind of thing. And yeah, so I confronted him about it, and he said like CrossFit is known to be very culty. I love you the way you are. I don't want you to change. And or like I would say like I would mention something like someone at the gym said to me, and he was like, the gym isn't a place to socialize, so why are you socializing there? I find that really weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, just
so is there more
like that?
Is there more going on than just because like the CrossFit is culty and gym isn't to socialize? Do you think he is intimidated or uncomfortable with you getting to know these men? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of women in CrossFit, but it's probably more male dominated. And there is a community, it's not, I wouldn't say culty, but there is a community in the CrossFit, kind of a lot of gyms that like people do become friends and get to meet each other and build rapport. And if it's something you're getting into, I could understand why that might make him feel a little, nervous and insecure, and he would have the right to check it and ask. But like if that's what it is, he should be direct about that and just be more, which I'm sure you'd probably appreciate, where it's just like, hey babe, like, I'm a little familiar with CrossFit, and it's just like, I'm glad you found something you really enjoy. But I guess, if I'm being honest, I'm a little uncomfortable, like knowing that like you're, probably getting to know a lot of new guys out there. You're a beautiful woman. And I guess I'm just a little, it makes me feel a little insecure. And I wanted to talk with you about that. And then then you could reassure him that like, listen, like, I don't know, I love you. I couldn't be happier with you. I'm excited about a relationship, and I hope that you trust me. But like, I'm just so you know that when I'm at the gym, while I might talk and socialize, that like I always go out of my way to make it very clear that I'm unavailable. Everyone there knows I have a boyfriend. And so I think it's okay for you to just kind of nip some of these comments in the butt. It's like, hey babe, I want to create a safe space for us to talk about things that bother us, but I want us to communicate and talk. I don't appreciate like comments under your breath. I don't appreciate like, there's comments in your breath. I don't like, or passive aggressive remarks about my body or things like that. I've really found something I really enjoy. Like, I don't have any intention of like drastically changing my body, but like, I like feeling in shape. I like feeling like I'm in the best shape of my life. I like feeling toned. I hope that's okay with you. If you're going to CrossFit 2 days a week, like you're not going to drastically transform your body. You're going to get in
what I think.
You're going to get in some really great shape and probably feel like you're feeling like, more energy, more active, and that's great. But like, 2 days a week isn't gonna, you're not gonna add 15 pounds of muscle, most likely, you know? I'm not a dietitian
Yeah.
or a personal trainer, so, you know, no one yell at me if I'm saying something wrong in that department. So I think this is more, maybe take this as an opportunity to sit down with them and say, can we really talk about this? Like, what bothers you the most about me doing CrossFit? And try to keep him on track. Because there's like there's the how he feels about how it might be changing your body. Okay. Like, again, like he has the right to be attracted to what he wants, but like how he communicates that is very important. And at the end of the day, like you aren't required to change for him. You have the right to say, well, this is important to me. I need you to accept and love me for who I am. I hope me investing in myself and being in shape is something that you like and respect, but like, I can't make you be attracted to this, but like, I'm not going to not take care of myself just so, you know, you are into me or something, you know. I would just set a hard boundary with that. And then, but I just feel like there's maybe a little something more, you know, because the way you're describing
there
it
could be like a hidden.
Yeah, where like I like you the way you are is just you know, he doesn't like that you're going to the gym and hanging out with a bunch of dudes for 2 days a week.
Could be what he's thinking it is, but it's not really like that. But you know, the part that I really didn't like is that, like he said, like, promise me you're not going to get muscular and I'll drop the issue. And I was like, I don't think I want to be like making promises about how my personal body is going to look. Like, it just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Has he made comments like that, like earlier on in the relationship, or like how has he discussed kind of like physical appearance and attraction like previously? Does this feel like totally out of left field, or is it like, oh, I guess this is kind of feels related to other comments he's made?
He hasn't really made any comments in the past, just kind of since I started going to CrossFit. Like, even I would go to the gym before that and he wouldn't say really anything.
I think you're just going to have to, it's a new relationship, I guess, is something to remember too. But you know, how he's communicating this is something you can talk through, you know? And like,
yeah,
you guys,
I said, I think that's the same as asking someone not to get fat, which he said that's not the same thing at all. And I was like, well, I think it's exactly the same thing.
well, I mean, listen, it's just a matter of opinion. You know, you guys could literally debate that forever, and you're never going to come to like a conclusion. You could probably find people who agree with you, and he could probably find people who agree with him. Like, that's not really the point. The point is like, you two are in a relationship, and if you want to continue this relationship, you have to find common ground. You have to find ways to communicate. You know, you're still very much getting to know each other. It's only been 6 months. This is kind of you've reached a point of, you know, past honeymoon phase. You're comfortable with each other. You're settled into the routine. You're trying something new. It's creating some change, and he's reacting to that change. But it's a touchy conversation, right? Because like, what if he did decide to drastically change how he took care of himself, for better or worse, right? You might have an issue with that. You know, if he changed his body in some way, whether you have the right to or not, you might have a certain feeling about it. You know, and these are kind of very delicate conversations that couples need to try to have while trying to respect their partner's desire to do what they want. But, you know, at the same time in a relationship, like, we want to know what our partner's attracted to, you know, like, hey, what cologne do you like? I want to wear that. You know, I've asked Natalie, like, hey, like, if, you know, like, would you want me to pump my iron or get bigger? Like, what are you attracted to on a guy? Like, you know, stuff like that. I've asked girlfriends, you know, and at times I've wanted to do things that make them more attracted, you know? So like, it's a little touchy. At the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do, and you have the right to do that. And maybe it's just how he says it to you that bothers you.
Yeah. It just seems, rude at times, or like he saw calluses on my hands from like the barbells and he was like, oh, that's gross or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
that's unnecessary.
Or anytime I bring it up, like anytime I bring it up, he's just like, oh, very good. Like, very sarcastic, like in a rude tone. So I'm just like, oh, well, I kind of want to share something with you if I'm interested in it.
But maybe your boyfriend of 6 months, who you're still getting to know, you're realizing is maybe more into a more demure woman. And maybe that's his personal taste. And he's kind of an asshole for how he communicates about it, but it might not change what he's attracted to.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
know,
So I guess like my question to you is like, is there anything wrong with telling your partner like your ideal body type and like how should that be communicated?
I think it's very nuanced.
Mhm.
I think it's wrong to be in a relationship and try to change them into what you want them to be. I think there's, I think every relationship requires a great deal of acceptance. We have to accept our partners as they are. In every relationship, it's okay to say, we always date people and we say like, I want you to make me a better version of myself or some version of that. So like, yeah, in all relationships, we want to challenge our partners to support them being their best selves, whatever that is. Maybe that's their physical health or mental health or emotional health and things like that. Or for example, I can be absent-minded, I can be aloof, and Natalie will challenge me to be more present and things like that. And I appreciate that, right? She will encourage me to do other things. I like to encourage her to do some things. But at the end of the day, I have to accept who she is for her strengths and her weaknesses if I want to be with her. And she has to accept my strengths and weaknesses if she wants to be with me. And she's not going to change me, Like, I'm a fairly lean, muscular guy. I'm 6'2", I'm a $190. I'm not a big, thick kind of, guy. And if now I was just like, well, I'm not going to start pumping a bunch of fucking iron and gain 30 pounds of muscle just so that would just I can't, and I don't want to, and I'm not interested. And that to me would be drastically changing like my body, and I'm just not willing to do that for anyone because like this is too much. That's different than like asking her like, well, what do you like? And just putting a little work because I want my girlfriend to be attracted and to me. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's nuanced, I do think it's okay for couples to like, again, like share what they're attracted to. I think that's okay. But there is a line. And I think in every relationship, you guys have to find what that line is. And a lot of it comes down to how we communicate that.
And I think sometimes we want there to be an answer to these things of like, this is what's okay, this is what's not okay. So that way we can know like, all right, I know I'm not accepting less than I deserve, or I know I'm not being unfair in like my expectations for this person. And I think, even though it's like a lot more confusing and less kind of clear, a lot of times it's just like how you feel about it. Like if it in your gut rubbed you the wrong way and you were like, whoa, hold on. Like you're trying to like, then like that is 100% valid. And like if in his gut, he honestly feels like he could not authentically be attracted to a partner in certain conditions, then like he's allowed to feel that way, but he's also expected to communicate it in the kindest, most mature way possible, which maybe not where he's at now. But yeah, that like to Amanda's point, you're not okay with it, and that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, it definitely rubbed me the wrong way.
It would rub me the wrong way too,
Well, especially because like you've done something that you're excited about, you feel proud of yourself, you found this new thing, and then like we want our partners to support the things that we are excited about, and he's doing the opposite. As far as him being like, I don't want a muscular girl, what does that even mean? Because there's a difference between like getting in shape and getting more tone, or like having an 8-pack and veins popping out. I think it comes down to you don't feel supported by this new thing that you've found joy out of. And I think you have every right to be frustrated that instead of him supporting you, he is minimizing what you found happiness in, and he is finding ways to kind of take that away from you rather than finding ways to support you. And then, in a far more delicate and empathetic way, recognizing that we all are very sensitive about our bodies, especially when people critique them, because it takes a lot of fucking hard work to change our bodies however we want to change them. And when they're not, when feedback is not given in a very delicate and compassionate, empathetic way, it can be really hurtful. And I'm sure he would feel the same way if you started like, critiquing him or telling him what you don't like that he might, or, something he's working into. And all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't know. I'm not attracted to that, like he'd get real defensive.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if there's some insecurity there. Like he used to be heavy into the gym as well. And like lately he's just busy and life doesn't really go. So I'm like, well, maybe he's not feeling so good about himself that he's not doing those things anymore. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's like an underlying insecurity or something that could be triggering those responses.
Don't accuse him of the insecurity. Just ask him questions about why he feels the way he does, and communicate why you feel the way you do and what's important to you. And you have the right to say, well, this is something I really enjoy and I would really like your support. And if calluses on my hand are such a big deal, then like, that's fucking nitpicky. That just is. It's so fucking nitpicky. But there are guys fucking like that. And so
for sure.
you just have to figure out whether like this is like just, you know, a combination of him like being uncomfortable with you spending all this time at the gym, or maybe he's just not attracted to super muscular women, and that's fine. But maybe you have no intention of becoming a super muscular woman. You just want to like stay in shape, and you enjoy CrossFit, and you like feeling a little more tight and a little more toned and having a little more muscle and have it be a little easier to pick a shit up. And, you know, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think I have the body type to get super muscular. So
yeah, it's just kind of, it's bizarre that you've been like lifting a little bit of weights for 2 months and he's having this type of reaction.
Yeah, I agree.
And you have the right instincts. Like, you wrote in, you're like, I think this is weird. And now you can like have a conversation about it. And so like, just like keep trusting your gut, because it's like truly, it's essential in this case when there aren't absolutes of moral right or wrong. It's really just about like what is truly like right or wrong for you.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. I like your advice. Thanks.
Yeah. And just remember, it's early. It's 6 months. And it's never too early to start couples therapy too, if you really like this guy. And this is a very, this is a touchy subject. It is. It's hard to navigate. And if everything else about this guy in this relationship is solid, and you've hit this kind of like red flag early on, or this kind of like bump in the road that you guys aren't seeing eye to eye, like I think, you know, it's maybe you suggest couples therapy as a way to navigate this thing so that you guys don't trigger each other, because it is a sensitive topic and it's hard to navigate these conversations sometimes without a third party. And it's very easy to trigger one another when, you know, we discuss sensitive topics, you know. Maybe he has the best intentions and he's just fucking up. I don't know. But I think Amanda said it best. There's no black and white, right or wrong, but you feel a certain way about it and it bothers you, and that's valid.
For sure. Yeah. It's kind of a new relationship. So I find like the honeymoon phase is over. So now it's like when you really get to know somebody after that. Right. So I'm just, I guess, on high alert. Like, I don't want to get into a bad relationship because I have my 2 girls and stuff. So
just talk with them. Yeah. Just be like, hey, this is something I really want to talk with you about. Like, we can work through it. Like, not these conversations don't get resolved in necessarily one conversation. And again, like, you know, 6 months in, you know, feels like the honeymoon phase is over. See if he's open to couples therapy, you know? And again, like, it's, well, we have these big problems. It's just like, hey, like, I really like what we have here. There's a lot of good in our relationship. There's this bump in the road, and I'd rather just like get, you know, like, let's make the investment to see if this relationship's really it. And like, let's get a professional third-party person to help us mediate some of these issues so that we can build on the first great 6 months and ensure that we stay connected and we find ways to, like, you know, trigger each other less and work through our triggers so that we can build on this like great connection. And if he's unwilling to do that and still willing to criticize you about the things that you find joy in, then maybe you need to reconsider the relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, good luck. Keep us posted. Yeah, we will definitely want an update on how this issue is resolved for sure.
I'll keep you posted for sure.
All right. Good luck.
Nice to meet you. I've been your fan for a long time.
Oh, well, thank you. Likewise. And congrats on, you know, finding a passion of yours. I mean, I think stuff like this, especially like when we hit 30 and, you know, midlife, I guess, if you want to call it, like, you know, it's easy to have sports and community when we're younger, but like it's harder to find, and, you know, and so the fact that you found it, regardless of like how it changes your body, I think don't be so willing to let go of that. Ask him to join too. You know, maybe he'll go with you. You know, would you like to come with me? If nothing else, it might like diminish any kind of like fears of, oh, why does she want to go to this gym without me? Just invite him along. I'd like to do this together with you.
Yeah, I tried that one time.
Oh, okay. Great. Well,
he said it wasn't his thing, so.
And that's fine. But
it's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah. So he's got to get with the program.
And you invited him, and you gave him an opportunity to share it with you, and that's fine. If it's fine, he didn't want to do it, but he doesn't get to take away your ability to, you know, make friends and have a hobby and have a passion.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, that one's a tougher one.
I'm really curious what people think on that, like in the comments, because it's a really nuanced issue, and
Yeah,
people
it really
have
is.
and bodies are so, they're so linked to trauma, and the body keeps the score. Like we all, and yeah,
But it's true. It's like, yeah, people's different fitness routines. And I think especially now with like certain trends of whether it's intermittent fasting or like cutting and bulking and all this other stuff, like your body can really change. And so at what point is that kind of a conversation with your partner of, okay, well, this is what I'm doing.
This is different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, when we meet people and we like something and then they change what we liked, I mean, those conversations get brought up. It's just how we handle it, and we have to just be delicate and empathetic and recognize that it's a sensitive issue when we start, critiquing, especially when the person you're critiquing is making such a significant investment in this change that they're doing. And it's a balance, but we also want our partners to be attracted to us.
and we're so full of should statements when it comes to this. Like I should be unconditionally attracted to someone. Like there's all these. I think people feel a lot of shame if they're not attracted to someone, and that is interfering with the connection of I'm shallow, I'm superficial, I'm not okay in that regard. There's also a lot of should statements and the other end of like I should look a certain way. I should, I don't know, just meet other people's needs in that regard. And I think it's when you add in all of these like different rules that people are operating under that are conflicting.
To me, it was like his remarks about the calluses on the hand.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
fun.
It's just like, all right, you're just fucking nitpicking and just you're too fucking.
I also think with stuff like that, it was kind of aligning with this whole other trope of like men not wanting women to be like powerful in certain ways or wanting them to be more like delicate.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's
Yeah.
confusing because then there's this whole parallel dynamic to this stuff that can also be completely separate. Like you can have a conversation about attraction and what you're physically attracted to without all of that. But when it happens to align with that, that makes it even more.
Yeah, and, for me particularly, I'm not attracted to like super muscular features on women. Like a six pack, that wouldn't be my favorite thing. But like at the same time, like Natalie, like a year ago started like lifting more weights, and I thought it was amazing and great. I just like the fact that she was, she kind of openly talked about like she just doesn't like working out is not something that comes naturally to her. She's been blessed to not have to do it as much, but like she's really invested in doing it, and amazing. And like honestly, like I haven't even paid too much attention to like how it's changed her, but like I think it's just incredible that she's doing it because she gets confidence from it, and it's something she hasn't done before. But to sit there, like I certainly haven't looked at her hands
Well,
after
that's the
she's
thing.
been weightlifting.
But it's a byproduct. And I think specifically with this caller, she does CrossFit because finally, as a single mother, she has time to herself.
Yeah.
And it's empowering. And it's almost like therapy to her.
Exactly.
So her body, she's not even going in it.
It's 2 days a week for an hour.
Yeah, like the body change is a byproduct.
But that's the
not
thing.
The goal.
She's not going into it to do it. And I think about like when I was really, really into Soul Cycle, and that was my therapy medicine like 3 times a week. And my quads were like, they were muscular as hell. But I was thinking about it, and I was
some
like,
muscular quads.
but I was like, if promising young man had at that point been like, babe, you have to stop going to Soul Cycle, I can't with these quads, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah, you can't say it like that.
Yeah.
I'm curious if people in the comments, like if it's something body type and attraction or preferences there is something that you've addressed with a partner and like you've successfully done it, or there's been language that people have used for you that's like been kind and communicated in a way that like got through to you. I would really like to know, because I don't think we have a model for that. And then conversely, because it can be so hard to communicate, I sometimes get really paranoid that it's like, oh, well, if he weren't attracted to me, like he wouldn't tell me that because he like it's so hard to do delicately. So then I'm like coming up with all these like, I'm conspiracy theorizing.
It's a very nuanced conversation.
So we want to hear your takes and thoughts. We love them.
Drop them.
Hey, all you shoppers out there that love to shop and also earn some money while you do it, Rakuten is the solution for you. Rakuten is an online shopping platform that rewards you for shopping. Rakuten gives you cash back when you shop at thousands of brands across almost every category, from apparel to shoes to home essentials and more. Just listen to some of the places like Macy's, Adidas, Walmart, Nike, Bloomingdale's, Levi's, Urban Outfitters, Blue Mercury, Zappos, Expedia, Dyson's, Plow and Hearth, Sephora, Wine.com, Samsung, and so much more. It's super easy. It's super incredible. Membership is free. It's easy to sign up. Rakuten deposits your cash back directly into your PayPal account, or they can just send you a check. You receive a check for shopping.
Oh,
What
that's
kind
ridiculous.
of crazy world are we living in?
You're
Well,
already shopping, so why not just add to your savings?
Just add to your savings. We're all using it. We're all getting cash back. Oh, did I also mention UGG, Petco, Chewy, Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, and again, so much more. Rakuten has 15 million members who are already saving. Start all your shopping at Rakuten. Your cash back adds up. To get the free Rakuten app and download the free browser extension, Rakuten also finds you the best deals, sales, and coupons. They do the work of searching for coupon codes, so you save time and money. It is so incredible. What are you waiting for? There's no reason not to do it. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. Go to Rakuten.com now or download the Rakuten app today. That is Rakuten, Rakuten.com, or download the Rakuten app today. Grammarly! Hey, all my friends out there who don't know where commas go, who don't know proper grammar like me or how to spell, maybe just tone. Listen, we have to be efficient, and, there's this, just kind of like stereotype out there that if you have a typo or you have a punctuation error, people think you're stupid. Or maybe you're someone like me who's just doesn't know how to spell and has dyslexia. And Grammarly is out there to help you save time, efficiency, and just look more impressive when it comes to your peers and bosses in the workplace.
Also, Grammarly Go is an amazing new feature from Grammarly. Obviously, we know them, we love them, we've been working with them for a while. But if you are ever struggling with new ideas, you can literally input a prompt and Grammarly Go will generate innovative suggestions to help move your ideas forward. So when you're writing and you want to rewrite for tone, clarity, length, Grammarly Go helps you fine-tune your writing to reflect your personal style and be effective in any situation. So you just have to select the text that you want to rewrite and activate Grammarly Go. Truly, it's like having a little friend in your pocket. It's a little tool for you to have in your toolkit to help you take your writing to the next level.
Sometimes you just end up and you're really stuck and you're trying to think of that 1/3 suggestion, but you just can't for the life of you. And Grammarly Go has this awesome feature where you can literally type into a chatbot creative ways to decorate a taco truck, and it will literally come up with a few different options. So that way, while you're trying to communicate, get people riled up and on the same page for your idea, you have these awesome infusion of brainstorming suggestions to level up your writing.
You'll be amazed at what you can do with Grammarly Go. So go to Grammarly.com/go to download and learn more about Grammarly Go. That's GRAMMARLY.com/go. Grammarly.com/go. How's it going?
Good. Hi, my name is Liz. I'm 24 years old, and my boyfriend went on a boys' trip, and I was surprised by how much it affected me and not sure if I'm overreacting or not.
Okay, tell us about the boys' trip.
Yeah, so my boyfriend went on a 10-day boys' trip with his friends, and they went jungle trekking for the most part. So he was off the grid pretty much the whole time. Didn't hear from him via text, phone. I knew this ahead of time, but it just really freaked me out the whole time. I really didn't like not hearing from him, being alone.
What freaked you out?
It was not a good time. I think physically not having him around, but also just not having that lifeline of that person that I find comfort in to reach out and safety blanket in a way.
Yeah. Do you live with your boyfriend?
I do. We've lived together for the past 3 years, and we've been together for 6.
And I'm assuming you spend most of your nights together?
Yeah, pretty much every night.
Yeah. 10 days is a long trip.
It is. And when we do take trips away from each other, they're typically weekend trips, long weekends, and typically can hear from each other via text and stuff that whole time. So this is the first time I've not spoken to him for that long of a period of time.
So what bothered you the most? Was there any trust thoughts or anything like that? Where did your mind go? What did you struggle with the most?
Less so about trust and more so feeling disappointed in myself for not feeling like I could be without him. I thought it would maybe be hard in the beginning for the first couple of days, but then I'd be able to distract myself and enjoy being alone. And I just genuinely really hated it. I really hated being alone. I felt like I always had to have podcasts on, always have a show on, call my friends constantly. And it made me uncomfortable that I felt like I just truly couldn't be by myself.
Okay. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't know. I'm not an expert here. And if you have a therapist, maybe run it by them. But you enjoy hanging out with your boyfriend. 10 days is a really long time.
Right.
I also think it's very natural if you get really used to something. I even notice that when I go home or if I spend a full weekend with my best friend and her husband, I then go back to my studio apartment by myself and I'm very comfortable living alone. But once you have that kind of interaction or once you have someone to be with, then all of a sudden like the silence seems so much worse. And that's when you kind of like panic.
Yeah. Nallie's literally, Nallie is home visiting her family right now. She's only gone for 4 days. But I was like, oh, fuck, I was good.
How do you like it?
Well, I don't mind being alone, and I'm a bit introverted, so like overall, like I don't go into panic mode or anything. But I also like it was like Monday night, and I was just like, well, I can't go to bed now. That's ridiculous,
That's pretty much when it hit me every night. I felt like I had so much time on my hands.
Yeah, because I love spending time with her, So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just the simple fact that he went, like, there's a lot of people in relationships that wouldn't even like be okay with their partner going on a 10-day trip where they're going to be off the grid. And you were.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it was
Barely,
you kind of hated it. I don't think that's that big of a deal. And clearly it sounds like there have been other like mini trips that you've taken independently of one another. So like, I don't think there's like any like major red flags of like this like unhealthy codependency where you're just like, we literally just can't be away from each other. And this, we refuse to ever take trips. So, we can't not be by each other's side. I'm not hearing that, it's just, and the fact that it bothers you that you were like that, I think to me demonstrates a level of like that self-awareness where it's just like, to me, that shows that you have a desire to have independence, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important because there are some people out there who don't even have the desire. They're just like, I never want to be alone. I'm not interested. I can't do it. Like, I will die if I'm not with you. Like, that's not you. Like, you recognize the importance of like having a little bit of independence, and while it's not your favorite thing in the world, like you would like to be able to say that you could be the person who could do that, and you kept yourself busy. And what's so wrong that you said to yourself, well, I couldn't go, like I had to listen to all these podcasts. Like, great, you kept yourself busy. Like, what were you supposed to do? Like sit on a couch and stare at a wall? You filled in your time that was usually filled with like companionship with your boyfriend and conversations with your boyfriend or whatever you guys do, and you had to find other things. That's normal. So I think you're probably being a little too hard. You're a little too hard on yourself. And 10 days is a long fucking trip, especially when you go from like living with someone and communicating on a regular basis to not having any contact with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
I can rattle.
Yeah. I guess I just felt like, and I think I was being hard on myself because I know that there's people in long distance relationships and things like that, or people whose, partners are in the army or something and they don't hear or see them for a really long time. And I just felt like, oh, it's a 10-day trip. Yes, that's long for us, but
there's a lot of people
there's
who
just
are,
something about.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've been like, you know what? I don't want to date someone in the army.
There's also, you get used to that, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Like, I had a guy once who was like in basic training for 2 or 3 months, and I was like, I'm not going to hear from him. You get used to, that's your new normal. Long distance, that's your new normal. You guys had a different normal. So you can't compare yourself to the people who adjust to that.
Yeah, and long distance, like you could still FaceTime every day in certain long distance situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nallie's been gone for a few days, but you could argue that we've talked more. You went from not only not seeing him to not having any access to him. And to Allie's point, you're right. Like, that's not your normal. And people in long distance relationships make adjustments. And I'm assuming, and I don't know a lot of people who are in relationships with someone overseas in the army, but I'd be willing to bet a lot of them were like, yeah, the first couple of weeks fucking sucked. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it.
Right.
And then, I got used to it. And I just, they start building new lives, literally.
Yeah.
So I think you're okay. I think, you're self-aware, you're self-critical, which is, there's a healthy amount of that to just, you're kind of checking in with yourself. Hey, am I being a little too needy? Am I being a little too, codependent? But I don't know. Most people in loving and healthy relationships who enjoy spending quality time with their partner would very much not enjoy being completely disconnected from their partner for 10 days. And they might, just like you, have moments of frustration and not know how to fill their time and like literally be like, all right, well, it's fucking 7:30. Can I go to bed now, or is that nuts? Because like even like TV, it's just like Nally and I, we like watching a lot of our shows together. So it's like, well, I don't want to start a new show without her. So I guess I'll just watch a movie I've already seen that I know she doesn't want to watch, you know, because like we like our TV time together, you know, and we like watching shit. So it just like fucks up your routine.
Especially when you're in the environment that you share with him. Like, because I feel like, I don't know, if I were you and I were in this situation, I think the place my head would be going would be like, I am not self-sufficient. Like, I am scared because like, what if there's a scenario where I'm no longer in the situation with this boy and I have completely lost my self-sufficiency? And it's like, so many things would need to happen to get there. But even if that were the case, you'd be in a different space. Like, things would change. Like, I think not using this as like ammunition for anxiety. And if you do find yourself like kind of being hard on yourself or like in your gut being like, am I not independent enough? Like asking yourself, like, what would that look like? Instead of not just like, what would it not look like? What can I criticize? Like, okay, like what would it look like if I were, quote, more independent tonight? Like what standard am I even holding myself to? And then if it appeals to you, like go for it. If you're like, if I were more independent, I would go to this one. I would take myself to this restaurant that I've always been wanting to go to. I would call this friend, you know, whatever it is. And like, you can always do things like that, but I feel like you shouldn't be hard on yourself.
No, that's nice. I think I am hard on myself. And I just worry too that even when we are together, like if we're not going to have a trip for a long time, that we really do spend so much time together. And part of me wants that independence, but part of me doesn't.
What's your girlfriend situation? Like what friends do you have?
Most of my friends have moved away since the pandemic. So it's a lot of long distance friendships right now, which, you know.
So there may be a little bit of that you're feeling, you know, you've lost that companionship with your friends. And like, so maybe this uses an opportunity. You're checking in with yourself and you're just like, hey, I love my boyfriend. I love spending a ton of time with him. But like, and you're only 24 years old. Maybe I need to make making friends just, you know, up it in the priority kind of department. So you don't have to go panic and start to go friend shopping, but just kind of say to yourself, I would like to make some new friends. And that's okay. And then, you know, as adults, I think we have to get better at making new friends. So just like naming it and putting it out there and be open to the possibility. And you know, like when you meet a woman that you connect with, you're just, you know, hey, would you like to get together? It can be a little awkward, but like, I think maybe you're sensing that lack of friendship that you have, and they're in relationships as much as you like hanging out with your boyfriend. There might be times where if he has a guy's night out and you don't have friends to go hang out with, you feel that much more needy, and you're just like, well, fuck, I just like. I'm alone. And it's a crappy feeling. So let this be just like a signal that maybe you want to cultivate or just focus on making a couple more friends. They don't have to become best friends. They don't have to necessarily replace the friends that you have or moved away, but just like people you enjoy hanging out with. And who knows, those could blossom into closer friendships or maybe just they're nice companionships. So, you know, it's not a reason to panic, but it might be just a note to yourself that you want to like, you know, prioritize making some friends a little bit.
Also, I think the more honest and transparent you can be when making those friends is even more impressive. I remember going on a Bumble BFF date with a girl who said, I have a very serious boyfriend. We've been together for years. Like they're now engaged. But she said, we recently moved here and I felt like I was really dependent on him. So I'm really challenging myself to meet new girlfriends. And I thought that was so impressive. And I was like, absolutely, I volunteer. Yeah. Let's go get drinks.
You know, and you know, like once a month, you just get drinks or have a dinner or catch up. You know, it could be, friendships can serve all these different purposes. But hearing that a lot of your friends moved away, that makes sense, especially as a 24-year-old woman that like, while as much as you love your boyfriend and love spending time with your boyfriend, it'd be nice to have other people that you can have quality time with, even when he's around, but especially when he's not. And I think if nothing else, it just created some urgency in that department rather than any criticism about your relationship.
Yeah. And I do think I've been aware of that. And that's kind of a whole nother thing, finding adult friendships. I know you've all talked about it before. It's really hard.
It's hard.
So hard. You got to put yourself out there. It's really, I mean, honestly, I'm really
find it hard.
I'm in awe of Nally, how she does it. Cause she's so just like, do you want to be friends? Do you want to hang out? We should be friends. She's just like, she's so like whatever about it, you know, where even me, I'm like, wow, that's like fucking just bold of it. Like just,
you could get rejected.
You just like ask some person to, you know, like, but you know, you just got to try it. There's such a desire for friendship out there nowadays, especially with people like you at your age, just because, you know, especially with COVID. I think COVID, definitely rattled and drastically changed friends dynamics. People had to move, and just like, people are just more in their phones and less and connecting less in the real world. And I think we just really have to strive to put ourselves out there and make friends and go out of our way and face some discomfort in that department. But like the benefits are definitely worth it.
Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, make that a goal of yours. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Bumble BFF. What are there other things out there that might work? And other suggestions?
There's honestly a lot of good Facebook groups I found. Like whenever I moved to a new city, like there's this group called Social Girls LA. There's the Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday book clubs. Like truly
better days than never group chat. Wild stuff.
Yeah,
People are making friends in there.
Yeah.
friendship.
If you make it a priority and then you're open to trying new things, it'll happen. It'll take a little time, but it'll happen.
That's a nice way to look about it, because I do feel like, oh, it's just not going to happen, and pessimistic. But
yeah,
I feel
well,
like I
if
should
you do
keep
that,
myself
it won't
open to
happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it'll definitely happen. Just make it a priority and try to say yes to things that you might normally say no to, because you're just like,
Yeah.
all right, good luck.
No,
Keep us
that's all good.
posted. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to email you
Well,
in like a
thank you.
month, and I want to hear that you have at least like one new friend or attempt at friendship, or just that you're putting yourself out there in a way that is meaningful.
Wait, yeah. Do we know what
Yeah.
city you're in? What city are you in?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
Oh my God, I have people I could connect you with. Should I make a group chat?
Oh my God. Connect us.
Let's do it.
But also, DC is a tough city to make friends
Yeah.
in. Like that's a
sure,
like
but it's also
I
a
think
city.
so.
It's also a city.
I'm not
Every-
saying it's like it's.
I
I
know.
think it's definitely worthwhile. I just want to validate that. Like I feel like DC in particular is like a really transient, transactional place sometimes.
I know you're an empathetic queen. I just think everyone in every city, there's no eligible people in my city I live in. Like, listen, you live in a massive city with millions of people. You can find friends. I think we just need to change the attitude. It's just all you have to add is a little bit of patience and time. If you go in with like, oh, I need to find a friend in a week, well, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success. Just make it a priority. Hey, in the next year, I'd like to try to be more open to making friends, and I'm going to be more willing to get out of my comfort zone and say yes to opportunities that might introduce me to more people, and that's all you got to do. And I promise you'll make
Yeah.
some friends.
All right. I'll let you know.
All right, take care.
Thank
Also,
you,
I
Ryan.
think I know two incredible girls who listen to Viall Files or friends of friends. I think they're in DC, but I just sent a text to make sure. I will low key connect you guys via email if you ever just want to like grab a drink, because you all listen
That's
to the
really
show.
nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nice to have those little things in common with people.
Perfect. I'll let you know. I'm waiting to hear.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Have
All
a
right,
good
take
day.
care.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Noom shavings make a pile, people. Hey, start meeting those wellness goals that you have. It doesn't matter whether you want to lose weight, gain weight, just get better sleep, just have more energy, feel just overall better. And Noom is helping people meet their wellness goals with their psychology-based approach. Noom empowers you to build more sustainable habits and behaviors. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have the cravings that you do. Everyone's journey is different, so daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. Scientific principles like cognitive behavioral therapy help you understand your relationship with food. Whatever your health goals are, the flexible program focuses on progress instead of perfection. Myself, I just like to do the whole maintain thing. I'm not trying to necessarily lose weight or gain weight, but as I get older, it is harder for me to maintain that kind of peak physical health that I have. And I still I like to eat. I like to enjoy food. And what's great about Noom, it doesn't make you have these crazy diets that cut out all these things that you love. You can still enjoy the things that you love, all while making sure that you're eating well and healthy. 95% of customers say Noom is a good long-term solution for themselves. Noom approach is grounded in science. They have published 50 peer-reviewed scientific articles describing their methods and effectiveness. Choose your level of support from 5-minute daily check-ins to personal coaching. They have something for everyone. So stop chasing health trends and build sustainable, healthy habits with Noom's psychology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at noom.com/VIALL. That is NOOM.com/VIALL to sign up for your trial today. Check out Noom's first ever book, The Noom Mindset, a deep dive into the psychology of behavior change. Available to buy now wherever books are sold. Hey, it's summer, people. That's right. It's around the corner, and get outside and enjoy your new wonderful patio furniture or any outdoor type of product that you have, and you're going to get it at Article. So if you're looking to upgrade your outdoor furniture scene, think of Article, because they have something for everyone. Their incredible mid-century modern coastal industrial Scandi and boho designs make furniture shopping simple. Also, the prices are incredible because they cut out the middleman and extend the savings to you. And if you already have the outdoor furniture that you love, but maybe you need something for the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen even, Article has it all, and their products are amazing. Everyone loves my Article furniture. I get compliments on it all the time. They make the shopping experience incredibly easy. You shop online, they deliver it. Their inventory is great. They don't make like so many of these furniture stores, you're just waiting months for stuff. Not with Article.
Not only do they offer fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada, they also don't leave you waiting around once the delivery happens or when you're ready for the delivery. You pick the delivery time, and then they'll actually send you updates as they're coming every step of the way.
It's incredible. And if you happen to be one of the few people or is like, I don't know, this one isn't for me, they make the whole exchange return process super easy and stress-free. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. How's it going?
Hi, my name is Jamie. I am 27 years old, and I am trying to get out of my situationship.
Okay. Tell us about the situationship.
It is a bit of a long story, to be honest, but it has been going on now for almost a year. We actually met on online dating, which I'm not super proud of, but it is like during COVID and such, it was the only way to really get myself out there.
All right, well,
but when we did match on social...
Time out there. Let's just stop with the self-judgment. Like, people meet on dating apps. It's fine. Continue.
Okay, so we matched on a dating app, and he messaged me asking me if I worked at a restaurant about 8 years ago in a different city, and I was like, what? Yes, I did. Like, I don't remember you, unfortunately, but he remembered me. So we talked for a bit on there, and I was pretty fed up with dating apps, so I deleted it, but he had my number and he reached out shortly after. So we were in communication. We finally agreed to hang out, and we didn't really plan like a date or anything like that, but we're both like very like just chill, like kind of want to go out in nature type people. So we agreed to like go out to a viewpoint and watch the sunset, have a drink or whatever. So we did that. It went really well. He was like very, very into me. And I was like, okay, like was taking it really fast, but I was just going with the flow. And I'm a very straightforward person. So I straight up was just like, hey, like, why are you on said dating app? Like, what are you looking for on there? And he was like, oh, I'm just looking to meet friends and like, or potentially more. I just kind of want to see where things go. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the same boat. But like, eventually I do want to settle down and begin building my life with someone. And he's like, yeah, me too. It takes time. I'm like, of course. So anyways, like fast forward like 3 months, and it's still going well. We're hanging out, I would say like once a week around there. I wasn't really questioning anything relationship wise yet, just because I didn't want to pressure him or do anything like that. So we were keeping it pretty low key, but I started to get the feels, and we were treating it like more than a friendship, in my opinion, just what we were doing and being intimate and our chemistry and everything like that. So I finally one day was just kind of like, okay, so like, where are we going with this? And he was just like, whoa, like, I don't know, like, no, I'm not ready. And I was like, okay, like totally fair. But like, I just feel like we're being a little bit more than friends. And he agreed, but was just like, no, I'm definitely not ready. So I kind of took that with, I was just like, okay. So I wasn't like setting myself into a point where I was like, hey, I'm dating. I was just like not really interested in anyone else or doing anything else. So continued that. It seemed to get even more serious in my opinion. So I ended up having the conversation of like, hey, what are we doing? Like, I'm not going to sit here and wait for you forever. Like, you're clearly interested. You're just not wanting to put a label on it. So he was like, you know what? I'll put a label on it if that's what you want. Like, if I'm willing to try to be with you for you. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Like, in my opinion, nothing's really going to change. Like, we're already doing what dating couples, I would say, would do. And we're already being communicative and open with each other. And he's like, yeah, of course. And
At any
literally
point-
nothing changed.
At any point, did you have are you sleeping with other people? Are you dating other people? Are you off the apps? Or did you just assume that?
I tried not to just because I didn't want to seem crazy. I know that's silly, but we did, I think about like, I don't know at the time, probably like 4 months in, where I was just like, I'm not, like, are you? And he's like, no, I'm not. And I was like, okay. But he's like, I just don't want to date. And I was like, okay. But it was like weird. And I think that almost made it feel more coupley to me, the fact that we were both like not seeing other people.
You're definitely, yeah. I mean, maybe you know this, but you did all the wrong things in the beginning. You're not crazy. Like, why? Like, we just have to stop with this whole like asking basic questions and having basic expectations. Does not make you crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might mean you get an answer you don't want to hear, but you're not crazy. And we need to stop letting people, if they when they say, "Oh my God, what are you talking?" Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, that's a them problem. That's their reaction is crazy. When you start watching sunsets when you began the story by saying he was moving really fast and you were just going with the flow. And then you immediately followed that up by saying, you asked him like why he's on the apps. And he's just like, well, I'm just here to like meet friends. So in that moment, you had the right to say, oh, well, thanks for sharing. But like, and you could do it even playfully. I don't know, you seem really into me. I don't know. We're watching sunsets. That's a romantic thing. That's not a friend thing. And you had the right to like call him out, and like, you don't have to be like aggressive about it. You can be playful with it, but like his actions and his words, even in that moment early on, weren't making sense. And that was already a red flag of someone whose actions weren't matching their words. That's crazy. It's crazy when we say things and do another over and over and over. Anyway, so nothing changed. You guys are now boyfriend and girlfriend?
Like, yes, I guess he's super weird about the label, which I tried to respect.
How
but
old
in
is
my
he?
opinion, he's 31.
Okay.
I don't think he's had a lot. No, I know he hasn't had a lot of experience in the past dating in general. Like, I think he's had 2 relationships that were very short and didn't last. I don't really know much. He honestly doesn't open up a lot about those kind of things. But so, yes, we're technically dating at this point. And like I said, nothing changed at all. And I'm really open. I almost hold back from being open with him because I don't want to scare him away, which is my own problem.
You've
I
made
know.
that very clear. Yeah.
I think everything's going fine. We don't see each other a lot. He's extremely busy. I'm extremely busy. But in my head, like he can make time for me. Like I can make time for him. So we were seeing each other, I would say once or twice a week still. And it was going well, not texting a lot, which is okay. But I went away for Christmas.
Is it okay? Is that what you preferred? Was that your preferred means of communication? I
just feel like if we're not seeing each other a lot, we should maybe like be checking in on each other. Or like, I guess I text him every now and then, but we're never like having a conversation on text message ever.
Why are you so willing to accept the absolute bare minimum?
Oh, I know. I'm guilty of that. Like, I fully admit. I even tell him, like, again, we'll get to more of the story, but that I'm like, I don't ask for much. Like, I really just like kind of want to know what's going on, and that's about it, which is my fault. I should have like expressed that I'm looking for more, I guess, but I'm like trying to respect his boundaries, which
what are his
I don't
boundaries?
think he really understands what I think just like the fact that he's not ready for a relationship, and I'm very like I am, so I'm very like
I don't even think
pushy.
he knows
like I'm
what
trying
that...
not to be pushy.
It's not that he's not ready for a relationship.
It's
not that he doesn't ready for a relationship. You have not given him any reason to make a sacrifice for you. And so like logically, he's just like, I'm not ready for this relationship because a relationship means more expectations and less time for me to do whatever the fuck I want when I want to do it.
Yeah, which was what I was trying to explain to him, was like being in a relationship versus exactly what we're doing at this moment, not in one, isn't going to really change, because I'm not like, okay, 6 o'clock every single Tuesday, we have to meet up and you have to see me and you have to text me every morning before 9 a.m.
Yeah,
like,
but like
I have
you're not going to do that because
so I tried
like
to make that clear to him, but
Yeah, but why? Because like, yeah, you're not going to be like, I need to see you every day at 6 p.m. That's just weird. But I feel like if you were being honest with yourself, you would want more from him. You would want him to go out of his way to make you more of a priority. You would want him to think of you while he's not with you and find ways to show you he cares about you. And you would want him to do, you know, the occasional little thing to make you feel like he values you and your time. Would you enjoy those things?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you like the way you talk? You're just like, you know, I don't really need it. I don't care about this. You literally keep saying, I just want the bare minimum. Okay, not literally, because you haven't actually said that, but you're basically saying, I want the bare minimum, but that's not what you want. And it's okay to say that's not what you want. You should want more. And I say this with love. This is very much your fault. You know, I don't know if this guy, what he's going to do, but like there's a world in which he might come around. Like some person is going, like this guy, and I think sadly, this is the way dating has gone. And, you know, it's a whole, you know, like just dating apps, you know, while I do think people should stop shaming themselves for using them. And I think people can use them as a way to meet people. But like, I don't think they're doing anyone any good in terms of successful dating or feeling, you know, it's just a validation or rejection tool at this point. And we just have to start holding these people more accountable and just say, I'm not going to accept less than what I want. And I'm going to, you know, if you want me, you're going to have to give it to me. And you don't even do it with your words. You just do it with your actions. You just say like, this is what I want. And then if you do, let me know if you do. And I do, those men find that they find it attractive. You know, they don't think you're crazy. If you were to set a boundary and enforce it, the right guy is going to find it attractive, and the wrong guy is just going to find it inconvenient. Not crazy. He's just going to find it inconvenient. Whatever he says, you know, and oh, this is nuts. So, what do you mean? Slow down. Like that might make you feel crazy because society or whatever has told you that like you can't possibly ask for more than the bare minimum. I don't know, but you're not crazy. He just finds it really inconvenient. Again, I've said like people find all boundaries inconvenient. Because a boundary is basically saying you can no longer have the thing that you were getting, and to get the thing that you were getting for free, I now want something in return. You know, and if you were, you know, had free gas for a year, and then all of a sudden someone's like, you showed up to like pump your gas, they're like, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to pay for that now. You're gonna be like, what? I don't want to do that. What are you talking about? Like, whoa, like whatever. What happened to like the free gas? You know, like, and that's what he's doing, you know, he's just reacting, literally just reacting like a child because the thing he's been getting for free, you're hinting that you no longer want to give for free, but you're still giving it for free. You're barely even putting up a fight. But until someone says, I'm no longer, no, you can't have this. I'm not afraid of not filling up your tank, you know? And if you want to go somewhere else, if you can find someone else to give you free gas, then good luck. I am no longer going to, you know, do that because I have, you know, bills to pay, and you have a tank to fill, so to speak, your heart, your needs, your emotional needs. He is depleting you. He is sucking the life out of you. You're spending all this time wondering, wanting more, convincing yourself that like, you're just okay with these little crumbs. And like, you know, he's so busy at work and like, you know what? I get 1 day a week with my kind of boyfriend. And that's fine. It's totally fine. I don't want to expect anything from him. I don't want to ask him anything because I don't want to be crazy. The only thing that's making you crazy is the fact that you're okay with this shit. I say this all with love. I think you're a wonderful person. I hope I'm not being too hard on you.
No, thank you. No, I need to hear it sometimes too, because like I have these conversations myself where I'm like, you know what? No, like I'm chill. I'm just waiting, or I'm just like seeing where it goes, or I don't need this from him. But like,
fuck boys like chill girls. Boyfriends, like, not so much. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, don't get me wrong. I love a chill girl. Like, but like, I also love a girl who has expectations. I love a woman who knows what she wants, and I love a woman who expects a lot from me. I want her to be chill. Chill is not overreacting when I fuck up or do something and losing their mind and like gaslighting me and like yelling at me and calling me names because like I didn't meet their expectations. That's not chill. You're thinking like having needs is you not being chill. Like what is that? That doesn't even make sense.
I know.
And
I also just find it very hard to find in this generation. Like, and I know like there's people out there for sure, but just like dating in my past, like I know I'm 27, but in my earlier 20s, like I was in longer relationships, but those people were like, I want to be with you and make you mine right now. And we're dating. As in like now I can't even get someone like to think about dating me. It's just like, no, we have to be casual. Yet in their head, they're not telling me it's casual. They're like, no, we're more than friends. We're just not in a relationship. And I'm like,
dating culture is a nightmare right now with this non-committal attitude and hookup culture. But I think we have to take more accountability for the people who want to be in more committed relationships and start expecting more and start putting out your expectations early. Read the signs, early on. Like when you're watching fucking sunsets and having a romantic moment and he's going out of his way early on and you're like, wow, this guy's moving fast. Like it's okay to name that and be like, hey, you say, I really like you, but like, wow, you're moving really fast. You always move this fast? Like, we just met. Like, challenge these guys. Like, guys like to be challenged, And that's not crazy.
Yeah.
No guy is going to be like, oh, fuck, you're crazy. That's not crazy. Crazy is when guys think women are crazy, it's when y'all, like, overreact on, like, what feels like to us, like, little shit when we fuck up. No guy worth your time is going to think you're crazy by having expectations, by calmly saying, hey, listen, it's cool if like you don't, if you're not looking for that, but I am. And like, I just don't want to keep doing this. And like, if you change your mind, call me. That's calm as shit. There's nothing crazy about that.
Yeah.
It comes across with confidence, The crazy is losing your mind and yelling and saying name calling.
Like in my head, I have been not harsh, but like, this is what I want and whatever to him. But I feel like I just get sucked right back in. Like, and he's like, oh, I can't give you that. And I'm like, okay. And like 2 weeks later, I'm like,
no,
so
he
remember when
chooses
I said that, like,
not to.
it's so
He
bad.
can. This guy can give you it. He doesn't want to. He finds it inconvenient. He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
And he's not going to. We all, as humans, will take what we get for free. We just like most people aren't like, you know what? Let me pay for that.
Yeah,
So
no, it's true.
you have to start expecting more. So are we still talking to this guy?
Yeah. It's so since then we like when we agreed to try to be boyfriend, girlfriend, he came over, like nothing really changed. He came over one night and then randomly was just like, oh, by the way, like I can't date you, but like I really want to continue this. And I was like, wait, what? I was just like,
that was the last
came out of,
conversation?
like literally nowhere. No, that was like December, January.
Oh shit. And
it sucked. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, let's just see where things go, I guess. Like, I wasn't going to like cut it off completely because I wasn't ready to, I know. But he ended up going away for like 2 months and like, or a month and a half. And part of me was like, oh, like maybe that's like why he's doing this, because he wants to go travel and be free, which I totally understand.
Stop understanding. No. Stop understanding.
Okay, I kind of was like, maybe that's why he's dumping me rather than like me doing something wrong.
You have to start trusting your gut. You have to start trusting your instincts, because I guarantee you, your instincts are like thinking, that's fucked up. And then you're like, but I guess I can understand. Stop trying to empathize with him. Clearly, you're an empathetic, nice person, and that will serve you well when you're actually in a committed relationship. But like right now with these fuckboys and people who you're just dating, stop finding ways to understand their point of view. Just trust your gut. Trust your instincts. They're right.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, here's what I think you should. Here's what I think you should do with this guy. I think you should do nothing right now. You should not reach out. You should be unavailable, and you should start dating. Right now, when you get off this call, you look in the mirror and you are a single woman. You are available and you're out there. You know, you don't need to be desperate. You don't need to like go on a bunch of dates. You know, like you just let it marinate, but like you are open and available. You don't need to explain yourself to him. You don't even need to have a talk. You've had so many talks with this guy, and eventually he's going to reach out and he's going to ask you like, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. And you're like, honestly, like I just got sick of it. You know, I just started, I've moved on. And don't just say it like that. I've moved on. Like, you need to talk, next time you talk to him about this relationship or situationship, whatever it is, you speak to him as if it's already over. You have decided to move on. Yeah, I started dating other people. And however he reacts, let him react. You stay calm. If he raises his voice, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm confused. We're not dating. I was just kind of sick of what we were doing. You're not my boyfriend. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. You're clearly doing whatever you want. Like, I don't know what the issue is. Just stay calm as fuck. That's the key.
Yeah. I honestly don't even think he'd react. He'd be like, oh, great. Good for you.
Fine.
So
whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
You're losing some good sex. It's nothing a vibrator can't replace.
Yeah.
There are plenty of fuckboys out there who are good at sex. They've got plenty of practice.
Yeah, but I don't want fuckboys.
Well, yeah, you just want a fuckboy to choose you. Well, start go out and, you know, say yes to dates with guys that you're not like, you know, super have the hots for. The reality is we do. Like, honestly, when it comes to dating apps and hookup culture, like, the good looking ones tend to be fuckboys. Some version of them. Because it's just like they're operating in a world where they have too much access to too many people, and they're getting a bunch of free sex, and it's just like, why should I be in a relationship?
Yeah,
and there's too much of this. I don't want to sound crazy going on by like stating an expectation, and so we're just turning all these guys into fuckboys. And yeah, they have a responsibility to hold themselves accountable too, but we're not doing anything to make them stop doing it. They're the crazy ones. You're too good looking and too much in your prime to be dealing with this shit.
I feel like I'm like, in my generation, all my friends and my family, even like my sister, like lived a completely different like white picket fence life than I did. Like, went to school, got married, had kids, all that stuff. And I'm like single and have been single for a long time. And I feel like all my friends are like in committed relationships or engaged or married or have children. And I'm like, am I late to the party? But then people are like, no, you're in your prime. But I'm like, not feeling very prime right now.
No, I know, but you do have the rest of your life to be stuck with one person.
Yeah.
Try to have fun. Now, I know you're sick of it. It's fine. I've been sick of being single. I hear ya. But now that I'm in a committed relationship, like, and I'm very content, very happy, but like, I had a great fucking time. I took advantage of my singleness. And there were definitely times where I was fucking sick of it. But someday you're going to find someone, and you'll want to make sure that you took advantage of all the freedoms that you had as a single woman. And you will regret the times that you felt sorry for yourself or you wasted energy on people who didn't deserve your time. I promise you. Be more compassionate to future you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. I would like soft ghost him and just, if he reaches out, fine. Or you could block him.
I'm just weak, honestly.
Well, you're not. You're
Don't
choosing
say
to
that
be.
to yourself.
And I don't want to ghost him. No, but I am. Like, I say, I'm like, no, I'm not going to reply. And then he'll be like, hey, you free Friday? I'm like, yeah, of course, always. And I'm like, no.
Well, I mean, listen, the choice is yours. You know, you just have to decide for yourself, like, how much this is kind of like slowly killing you.
Yeah.
That's why I said this is your fault.
I don't want to ghost him either, because I wouldn't want to be ghosted. I would rather like communicate.
Listen, I'm not saying like flat out. I say soft ghost. I mean, like, stop reaching out to him.
Yeah.
Don't immediately reply. Be busy. Be like, you know, get back to him 3 or 4 days later. Make him reach out 2 or 3 times before you respond. And then finally, when you're ready to give him an answer, you're just like, hey man, like, I just kind of like, I'm over it. I just decided.
I'm already kind of halfway there because I don't reach out. Like I even told him, I'm like, I'm not like reaching out to you. So like anytime we do hang out, it's because he reaches out. And like I already played the whole like don't reply right away or make him ask twice and kind of thing. And he still does it, which just confuses me even more.
There's nothing to be confused. There's nothing to be confused. This guy is a fuckboy who doesn't mind sending a few texts for some good sex. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be confused about. And he doesn't find you obnoxious, and he probably enjoys your time. And all he has to do is push back a little bit when you try to like set expectations and enforce some boundaries. And this all makes perfect sense to me.
That's
but
true.
you're not making him choose you, you know?
I think I just don't want to give him an ultimatum either and be like, I
don't think you should give him an ultimatum.
Choose me or I'm gone.
No,
he'd be
you're
like,
already
okay,
gone.
bye.
You're already gone.
You're gone.
You're already gone. You've moved on.
Yeah.
That's what the only thing that you need to say to him whenever you decide to talk to him is, I decided to move on. I mean, and whatever he says, short of I'm so fucked up, I will do anything. I want to be your, I'm ready to commit. And then that's not even enough. you can like, that might be enough for you to reconsider, but then you need to hold him accountable for what he claims he would be willing to do. You need to enforce those boundaries, and you should expect to be disappointed because it would be a fuckboy's first time trying to not be a fuckboy. And we tend to get things wrong the first time we try something. All right. We're going to check in on you. You can do this. Give yourself a lot more credit than you're giving yourself. You have all the control to find the thing that you're looking for. You really do.
Thank you.
You have everything going.
I have no confidence, but I need to work on that, obviously. And therapy hopefully will help with that a bit as well. So.
Yeah. You're a beautiful person. You seem intelligent. You got some cute glasses on. You're 27 years old. I mean, truly, like, you're your worst enemy, and you have all the control. Like, really, you have all the power here, and you just have to decide to use it.
Yeah. Thank you. I
right.
appreciate it.
All right. Good luck. We'll check in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you guys so much.
Please update with us any progress.
Yeah, I will reach out. I want to hear from you. And stop telling yourself that. Your brain hears what you say about yourself. So stop telling yourself that you're weak.
You're right.
You need truly, you need some positive affirmations in your life.
Yes. I'm working on that as well. I'm trying to add in lots of little like journaling and stuff like that too. So
trust your gut.
Working on it.
Stop empathizing. Stop trying to understand.
No, it's good. I needed to hear that.
All right. Good luck. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. We have an amazing, incredible week this week. On Freestyle tomorrow, Howie Mandel is joining us. Gonna be wild.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.